mission to help you change the way you look at your content. You are creating content in your business. You are pushing out content probably on a weekly basis, publishing out, social media posts, emails, podcasts. Maybe you've got a YouTube video. Like there's different things that you're creating. Maybe you've even developed out your ideas and structured them inside a course. Wherever you are publishing this content, where you are sharing your expertise and you're doing it on a consistent basis, and the message is consistently like the same honed in, dialed in, focused message, meaning you know what you're talking about and you're showing up and you're talking about the same thing over and over in different ways to connect with people on that topic. You're not changing positioning, for example. You're not jumping, and now I'm talking about this, now I'm talking about that. If you have that kind of clarity in your content, then it's likely that you already have the content to be able to pull from that and turn that into a book. But so many people are like, oh, what? I can do that? Because they're thinking about the content in one source and then maybe distributing it, chopping it up, putting it on social media. But they're thinking about the podcast, or they're thinking about the videos that they're creating and then maybe splintering that for social media. But they're not thinking about repackaging that and going the other direction to turn it into a book. Yes, a book is a bigger source, a bigger resource, but the book takes your content that people heard. Let's use a podcast, for example. People heard it on the podcast. If they're anything like me, like I can't listen to things or just watch things sitting down. I have to be on the go. I have to be doing something. So I'm listening to your podcast. I'm either driving or I'm walking and I'm doing other stuff. And in that case, I'm not taking notes. I'm not like, hold on. I'm hearing good things. I'm like, oh, good idea. Good idea. Yes. Or I want to do that. But then do I remember? For example, I went on a walk this morning. I was listening to a podcast as I normally do. I'm like, oh, I got to get home. I got to write this down. Oh, maybe I should do a voice note. But then two of my children are like in the driveway and I have to stop and talk to them because they're like getting ready to get on the school bus. So like, I'm trying to remember why I'm having this conversation. So I move past that. Then comes the other child and I'm still trying to get the dog in the house. And so I'm like, oh, I got to go do this. And then the other child needed stuff right then. And so I couldn't stop. And I'm still trying to remember what it was from that podcast. And I finally got an opportunity about 30 minutes later. And it's like, there's something I needed to remember from the podcast. I didn't remember. All I remembered is I was supposed to remember, but I didn't actually remember the message. This is a common thing that people do. So they hear stuff that they love, they think is so good and so valuable, and they want to use it, but they don't remember it because they're not taking notes or not fully focused on what you're sharing in your podcast, on your YouTube video. And so you need to give them something that can help them to hear it again, like take it in because now they're reading it, apply it, put it into action so they actually get a change in their lives. There's so many people that are just going to follow you and they're going to follow you for a long time because they like what you say, but they're not ever actually putting that into action, or it's going to take a really long time for them to get any traction because they're only hearing it and they're only applying it in little doses. But a book can help people to pause over an idea. They're going to highlight, they're going to take notes. If you add questions and prompts, which I guide you to do in the style of books that I have you creating, then that gives you the opportunity for them to actually get a tangible result from your message, from the content that you've published into a book. And if they can get a tangible result, they're going to look back and go, I just created this level of change. I just achieved this goal. I just had a new level of success. And it's because of what you shared in your book. They're going to credit that to you because you helped them to make that change. I know the people who have impacted me, the people who have helped me to get and achieve and do the different things. And I recognize them as being the leaders that I trust, as being people I seek more from and gladly pay them because they have helped me to get past a certain point to achieve a certain level. People will do the same thing when they connect with you in their book. And so there are books that I have gone through and I'm like, I need more. How can I find out more from this person? The book gets them asking that instead of just taking in and consuming your content without ever having a life-altering impact. And so we want to look to the content that's already working, that you're already publishing. And now how can we package it up, turn that into a book, guide people through that book so they can take an action and they can get a result. And that's what's going to help you to build your business. It's not because you just published a book. A book in and of itself is not going to do that. It's how you publish the book and how you're putting assets and value into this person's life that gets them the tangible result. So then they can credit you with that, helping to achieve that result. That's what's going to grow your business.